What is up, guys? Welcome back to another daily build video. This time I'm taking a look at the car that I've been driving this entire time as the meta car for Rally Raid in the Grand Races. It's the Z4. Here's my final tune. Let's go. Real quick before I get into the video, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes or my Need for Speed Heat builds, I've moved everything to my website. It's militiagamingco.com. There's links in the main navigation menu for Need for Speed Heat builds and Motorfest Pro settings, so click those if you're looking for that. The link to the site is actually in the description of this video. All right, enjoy. All right, so the chances are you've already been driving this car. This is something that I've suggested on both of my Grand Race meta videos so far, and I'm going to continue to suggest the car. It has insane acceleration. It is very stable. It's a car that just feels really nice to drive, but I've made a few changes to the pro settings over the course of these 2 months, and I've got the car in a place where I really like it. It ran the fastest time on my test course, and it's the only time that's under 150, and that's the test course called Off-Road Island. It's in the off-road playlist. That test course is sort of like my favorite way to test whether or not a car can handle like those high speed turns, bombing down those hills, and then having some control when it comes to some of those sections that are in the trees right there at the beginning. So it's definitely not the best test course because it doesn't have any tight S turns, but it's not the worst either, and it just kind of gives me a picture of what's fast and what's not, and then I can go out and test these in the Grand Races, and this one actually performs very well with the settings I have. So anyway, the car is really stable. The only problem with the Z4 is that it does understeer quite a bit, and that's the reason why it's stable. It's because the car is not, it's very gripped to the ground. The back end is very solid, and you don't really lose it that much, especially with the default tune. So let's take a look at the settings and I'll show you what I did here. All right, basically I lightened up the aero load, which is basically your downforce. I put -5 on the rear. It just gives the back end just a tiny bit of slippiness to it, and you need that for some of those switchback turns. In the spring front and rear, I decreased the stiffness a little bit, just give the body a little bit more bounce. And then here's where the big change is. On rebound, I subtracted it -20 on both front and rear. The car is going to feel a little bit shocking. If you've been driving this in a default state and then you drive this tune, you're going to be a little shocked by how sort of jello-y the car kind of feels, right? But you're actually going to be met with a little bit more grip in the corners. You're going to be able to steer the car through corners, and it's not as understeery when you soften the suspension. Now, in addition to that, when you're bombing those big hills and you've got those giant, like, I don't know what to call them, they're like little like bumps within those hills, the car feels almost glued to the ground. Like it doesn't jump as high, which is awesome. You want the wheels on the ground as much as possible, and the rebound is the speed at which the wheel comes back out of the suspension. Like after it compresses, how fast does it come back? That's what causes that bounciness. So when you hit a bump, it compresses like this, and then at the top of the jump, the suspension rebounds back and your car goes up into the air, and that causes a lot of uncontrollable type things. So this is something you can do with other Rally Raid cars too if you want. Just decrease your rebound and you'll see the car gets a little bit more stable. Now that being said, I also adjusted the ARBs in the rear, made it a little softer. That'll give the rear end of the car less grip in the corners, and so that should feel a little bit more responsive. Now you can play with these even more, but the more you touch these and the more you touch the camber, the car is going to start to get unstable really fast. So definitely dial it in if you need to, but try my tune, see what you think. Camber -0.10 for the front and -0.04 for the rear. I think this is the most I've talked in the beginning of a daily build. Anyway, let's get out to a Grand Race. Let's see how we do. All right, here we go. We got planes in this one, which is kind of interesting. I'm not going to be taking the plane. I'm going to jump into the Rally Raid because obviously that's for the video. This is going to be very interesting whether or not I can actually pull off a victory here. Hopefully I'm in a position to do so, but those planes are so much faster than the rally cars. So we'll see. Yeah, this is one of the most mellow starts to a Grand Race I think I've ever had. Is it going to get crazy? Whoa, okay. All right, we're headed this way. right. Out in front. Early. Now we gotta start conserving the NOS. Up the hill. Yeah, they'll catch us a little bit. We got a tiny, tiny gap. They'll catch us. It's only a matter of time. And then hopefully we can put a little gap on them. They're coming up. This part you kind of want to aim for this middle tree because it's deceiving. The branches are on the left of it. Oh, I hit that tree. Did not want to hit that. It's okay. We're heading towards the... Alright. I did not do that section very fast. There's better ways to do it. Particularly if you have some NOS. I kind of was using it a little too much there. That's okay. We'll use the rest of it here. Alright, we definitely didn't drive this as fast as possible, but we drove it fast enough. And I'm gonna see what I can do here going into the rally raid section. I'm gonna miss the checkpoint, dude. Oh, what is this, dude? Where is it respawning me? Oh my god, bro. Okay. All right. Well, we're in 19th, so you can kiss that win goodbye. Let's take a look at the way that this car responds to these bumps, though. Like, you see how it's kind of just floating over everything? It definitely looks a little more soft, right? But see how it doesn't catch a lot of air? A lot of grip on that corner? Like, a lot more grip on that corner. You see what I'm talking about? The wheels just always feel connected. You know? Unless you hit, like, a really big jump, then obviously you're gonna jump. But they just feel, you know, a little bit more glued to the ground. But just watch the suspension of the car as I go over some of this stuff. Okay. That was my bad. Now the question is, how many places can I make up? Probably not that many. Most people know to take the planes. I don't know, maybe we'll get a few plane crashes. I really doubt that I'll be able to be in the top 5 on this one. I mean, I'm gonna have to have some very lucky, a lot of luck in the plane section. I mean, I can drive this car pretty fast, but those planes are just way more, just have way more speed. I did make up a couple places though. It's pretty good. I'm in 12th. I was in 19th when I got into the car after that catastrophe. You see how controllable the car is though? It just feels glued to the ground, and that's thanks to the lightning of the rebound. And I think going forward with rally raid tunes, we're gonna probably have to see a lot more of that. It just feels so much better to drive the car. Not all cars need it though. Some are pretty squishy already. All right, 12th it is going into drift. Everybody's dive bombing to hit the checkpoints. Oh, there's a car there. All right, let's go. See what we can do, baby. This that transition really. Oh my god, we're close to the top 5. Why am I showing in 9th right now on the leaderboard though? That's the weirdest thing. This guy's 5th, and it's showing me in 8th. I should be 6th. Lost a little bit of traction there and oversteered. All right. Not exactly how I wanted to take that, but it'll do. And then past Johnny right there. So we passed Johnny, but on the leaderboard, we're not past him yet. This is a 4th place. The driver in 4th is here already. I think we have a shot at passing Dvark, but I don't know. Let's get him, dude. Hopefully I didn't mess him up there. I try not to make contact with him the rest of this race. Hopefully he... Oh yeah, he's in slip. I'm not gonna have a lot of NOS on this final stretch, so we're gonna have to kind of be... Oh, he lost it a little bit. Junior Outlaw, can we get him? Nope, he's gone. But dude, we got 4th after that. Dude, I'll take it after that, and not taking the planes. I'll take it. But shout out to Drift King for the win, Stix01 and Junior Outlaw 22, and of course Dvark for being featured in the video at the very end. Yeah, man, listen, the key to this tune is for sure the rebound. Everything else just is meant to give the car just a tiny bit better steering. Now, I think the car still understeers a little bit, but not as much. And that was the goal of the tune. It was to try to make the car feel just as stable, but give you just a tiny bit more responsiveness. And I think you'll find that on a lot of those like little bumps and stuff, when you're going real fast, that stuff tends to throw you off. And so with this tune, you should have a little bit more steering responsiveness and then not have so many issues with those bumps. So anyway, I know everybody's excited to see the Hoonigan updates. It should be coming out today, and I'm excited for it as well. And if you're watching this video after that, shout out to you for checking out one of the older videos. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.